Monster Hunter Wilds is really good, but at the same time, it's really bad. Now, a disclaimer before I start, I'm actually a big fan of the Monster Hunter series. I've played World, Rise, and I started around Monster Hunter Ultimate 4. I've actually played both of the newer games pretty recently, but it would do Monster Hunter Wilds injustice to compare it to those games considering how differently it's played. Now it's time to get into one of the first and biggest problems I have with Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's and don't get me wrong, the graphics of the game are amazing. The problem is you need practically a supercomputer to try to run it on anything over medium graphics if you want frames above 60. It's actually ridiculous how long it took me to try to optimize this game to my computer. And honestly, I genuinely feel bad for the people that was excited after playing Monster Hunter World that bought this game and then realized their computer wasn't able to run it. And honestly, if you're wondering if it's just me having this problem, I have a 3060, and after research, I've concluded it's definitely not just me. My second problem, honestly, might just be a me thing, but it's definitely something that affected my playthrough, and it's not even necessarily the fact that I don't like the story, it's just the way that the story flows. I hate going from cutscene to cutscene to cutscene just to fight one monster in a super short fight that just doesn't give me the satisfaction that it should from a Monster Hunter game. The thing is, this game's supposed to be open world, and it doesn't even feel open world at all until you beat the final boss and then get to the high rank quests, which is really disappointing. And after hearing all that, you might assume that I don't like the game at all. But I do. I enjoyed the story, and I enjoyed the fights, but on top of that, it just wasn't hard enough. I didn't feel like I had a challenge throughout the entire story until, once again, I got to the high rank quests. And I know this was probably organized to help ease new players into the Monster Hunter series, but there are as many longtime players as there are new players, and it feels like they're just being forgot about. And I don't appreciate that, and I guarantee most of the fan base doesn't either. And this video isn't even just to talk about what's bad about the game, and that's why I want to get into. Now it's time to talk to you about what I really enjoyed about this game. I had some complaints, and they were pretty major, but overall I actually really enjoyed this game. The world building, the monsters, and everything just came together so well to make the gameplay so smooth and genuinely fun to do over and over. And that's the key part of a Monster Hunter game because, you know, you're fighting monsters over and over. Now time to get into the first part that I really enjoyed, and it's definitely in a lot of the old games, items were a lot harder to use, and traveling around was really tedious, especially since you're considering that you're walking around on foot around a huge map trying to look for one monster. And the first quality of life change is the sharpening. Oh my gosh, I'm actually so glad that they changed this. Before, when you sharpened your weapon, the animation would start, and if you got interrupted, all your sharpening progress would be gone. But now it sharpens in increments, so even if you do get interrupted by an attack or whatever else is in the world, it keeps your progress, which is a huge improvement, and I'm glad they added that. The second quality of life change is the mount. The mount is so good. The way you can ride around your Sacred and use items while you're on it makes traversing, sharpening, and healing so much easier in the middle of a fight. When a monster runs away, you don't have to worry about walking 30 minutes to try to get to his next spot, which is amazing. The next thing I want to talk about that made me enjoy the game even more is I genuinely believe that offset attacks are one of the greatest combat mechanics ever added to Monster Hunter. If you don't know what an offset attack is, it's kind of like a counter. It's an attack you can do while a monster's attacking you that'll knock it off its feet and give you a huge damage window. They're so satisfying, and here's some clips of me doing it. As you can see, they look satisfying, they feel and sound satisfying, and you feel so accomplished when you hit one. There's about 100 more things that I love about this game, but I wouldn't be able to fit that all into one video. What I can do though is recommend you this game. It is a 10 out of 10, and this is my honest opinion. Really, if you have the money to spare, I would 100% recommend you buying this game and at least giving it a try. If your PC can run it, of course. And that's pretty much everything I have to say. This is just my opinion, of course, so I wouldn't jump to any conclusions. And I would definitely recommend it to you if you have the chance to play it. So, that's pretty much it. Peace out.